Welcome to the show, Auret. It is such an honor to have you here. I have been so looking forward to bringing this to my audience.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me on, Kylie.
Well, and it's so fun because we both spoke at Selena Sue's Rich Relationships, one of her virtual meetings that she does. And I was just so impressed by your conversation about YouTube. And of course, the YouTube conversation in the podcast space is so big. And so I thought, okay, we have to get you on the show and we're going to dive into all of it. So I'm known to not be too fluffy. So let's get right to it. I want to know if somebody is recording their podcast with video and they're pretty much just putting the podcast up on YouTube and they're not doing much else. That's kind of it. That's the bare minimum. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Is that working? Is that okay? Is there a better way to go about it? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I see this a lot. And I mean, podcasts are so popular now, right? So the kind of clients that we work with are very expert-led business owners. Like you want to be known and respected for a particular area of expertise. So most of the time you will have some form of like a podcast where you invite other guests and then you're using the channel mostly as a storage shelf, I would say, because, hey, it's long form. Why not throw it up on YouTube and see if it gets more views, right? And that could logically make sense. But YouTube, you have to really understand that YouTube is its own platform in terms of, every single platform has its own way of how it works and how you're able to get traction on that platform. So with YouTube, especially if you're using your channel to be an asset for your business, meaning you really want to attract the right kind of a client, and you are using it intentionally to feed people into your offers or into an email list, those videos or podcast episodes that you're repurposing on the channel, they need to be packaged in a way that attracts that type of person. And so what I see quite often is people will put the episode on there and it'll be like episode 4, interview with Joe Smith or whatever, right? Or it's like labeled in a way that you label like files on your computer. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's not like titled in a way that attracts your person, tells them that you're going to solve a particular problem by them listening to that episode, or gives them what they desire, or leverages off of a specific search phrase that your person types into the search, right? So yeah, to answer your question, I don't like that. I don't like just repurposing, just throwing up videos because it's not effective. And, you're putting in all this time and effort into creating those podcast episodes. You really want to leverage YouTube as a platform for new eyes so that you could get your stuff out there more and attract the right person into your community.
Okay, so what if somebody came to you and they said, this is kind of like what I can do right now. This is what I'm doing. And I'm, repurposing my podcast. I'm putting it on YouTube, probably not adding too much extra fluff to it, or I shouldn't say fluff because I know that's beneficial for YouTube. But what are like 3 things that you would say, okay, that's fine. We can do that, but we're going to do X, Y, and Z to make your channel work better for you?
Yeah, sure. And I actually want to comment on the fluff piece because that YouTube, it doesn't benefit YouTube for you to fluff around. Absolutely not. Because when you think about when a video pops up in the feed and someone's clicking on it, because the thumbnail and the title speaks to them, you want to deliver on that topic. Right away, even like the first point, getting into the first point right away, or getting into the topic right away, or getting into your story related to that topic right away, because, you don't want to waste people's time. And also like today's day and age with fast paced, right? People they want to get what they came there for. So if you are someone who, you don't necessarily have a lot of resources, whether that's time or team or whatever, you have these podcast episodes, the very first thing I would do is taking a look at that episode. How can you, what is a way that you can title it that would speak to your person. So let's just say, like, let's just use you, Kylie. You also speak to like expert-based business owners, right? So it's like podcasting for experts. So if you did an episode specifically around where you need to upload your podcast for experts, right? And in the episode itself, you were talking about many different things. Maybe you were going through all of the different platforms. Maybe you were speaking about like, which platforms you use, and like there's many different things in there in that one episode. I would say to you, can we pull out one particular piece and optimize it around that topic? So in the section of the episode where you're addressing all, like, here are the different types of platforms that are available to you, maybe we can title that as best podcast platforms for experts or something like that, and just extract that piece and upload that. So it's really not like crazy complex editing. You're just basically cutting that piece out, but you're packaging it in an intentional way. And then depending on how long the episode is, and if you're talking about multiple topics, you can extract multiple videos potentially from that one episode. And that would basically put more feelers out there. If you think about like fishing, right? That would put like more hooks and more lines in the water, more opportunities for people to find you and bring them back into your world. So that's really like one of the main things. The other thing too is, if you, like I said, using the channel intentionally, like you want to feed people into a lead magnet that you have, like a downloadable freebie, right? In exchange for an email address. Be very intentional about like putting that link at the very top of your description. And I would even say, if you have the resources, you might not, but filming a separate a separate ending with that call to action, being like, so let's say you've cut that episode out, and you could do something like a separate little clip saying, so I hope you've enjoyed that episode. We do have a guide on XYZ. If you found that helpful, you can click on the link in the description below. And that's it. Like, just super simple. But it's really about, we teach a strategy framework that has 3 main pieces, and it's aligning the video with your goal for what you want the channel to do for you. It's attracting the right person. What's the title and the thumbnail that you're doing to attract the right person? And what action are you giving them? What's the call to action? And so like doing that consistently across video after video that you release on the channel is really going to work to your favor.
Okay, this is so good. And one thing you just said that I'd love to have you kind of workshop with us is like, when you say, what's your goal for the channel?
Yeah.
What are some goals that podcasters might be thinking? I mean, in my world, we're always talking about like, how can we turn podcast listeners into leads, so subscribers, and eventually sell to them. So yes. I'm thinking you might be kind of around the same kind of plan for YouTube, but I'd love to hear kind of what comes up with that.
Yeah, so we have, so I'll share a few goals from various different clients that we've had. So one person may want to use the channel to get more leads for their offers. So when I say leads, it's like you want to attract the ideal person into your email list so that they could potentially go and purchase one of your offers down the road, right? So someone might have a goal of like, I want to get more people on my email list. So with that, it would be the landing page to the opt-in page that you're using, lead magnet or what have you. Sometimes it's even like request a call with you, or, someone else had like opt in for a private podcast as well. So you can use different ways of lead magnets in terms of getting people into your email list. But that's the main one that we see. It's not to say that you can't make a sale directly from YouTube. We've seen that happen many times. But that's, I would say, is the best way to just like get them on the email list, because most of the time people aren't necessarily ready to buy from you right away. So that's one thing. The other thing is like, if you are wanting to sell a particular product, also a way to like to filter the right person if you want them to get to do a commitment in some sort of a way, like maybe buying a $47 offer, maybe it's attending a live webinar, that kind of thing. You can also link directly to that, and that's another way that you're getting people into your email list, but just like revenue wise, it's also contributing that way. And then some people just want to grow their community on YouTube. Like they really want to use the channel as a legacy asset for them. Like I said, they want to be known for a particular area of expertise, and they want to grow their viewership and their subscribers on the channel, because they know, like that's number one, a good authority piece for them. But number two, it could lead down to like sponsorships or brand deals or that type of a goal later down the road. I mean, we have all of these things embedded in our channel. The channel produces like brand deals, sponsorships, ad revenue, feeds people into our email list, as well as like sales as well, like get people landing in our email inbox because they've gone from a video to the website where it's like request more information on this product, to our email inbox. And then by the time I get on a call with them, they're already the videos pre-sell already. Like it's just, they have already generated that trust. So yeah, those are a couple of goals or objectives for your channel.
I love it. And you actually answered my question. I was going to say, how does selling, even low ticket offers on there, but you're so right. Video and podcasts are such a beautiful way to nurture people, and then they're ready to buy. So what are your thoughts? Because I see this a lot, and I love that you said it's so important to have the right link in the description, because I've been seeing a lot of like links to Spotify, links to, the Apple. So what are our thoughts with that? Like somebody who's watching a video on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do we want to send them to Apple and Spotify? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So this is my take on this. My take is they're already on the platform of YouTube. That this is how they're digesting content. This is how they're listening to your episodes. So it doesn't make sense to send them off to another platform unless they prefer to listen to podcasts on that particular platform. So because of that thinking, I actually downgrade the priority of those links and push them further down in the description box, because you can have a separate section that says, listen to this podcast on your favorite platform, and then you can put those links. But again, I wouldn't that's not priority links in my mind. Priority links is, again, what do you want the channel to do for you? Send them there. That's the top link. That's the main one that you should be focusing on at the very top. And if you don't really care about, sending them to a Spotify or whatever, then don't even put the links. I have people who they just put the links there because they think they're supposed to. But it's just like when sometimes people link to a social media platform that isn't even really active. You don't want anyone going there, so don't link to it, right? So it's kind of like that same mindset.
Oh, I get it. It's so nice to hear, because I do think that, and as somebody who is podcast first, I'm we should probably have them there, but what's the right thing to do? Because again, I'm very marketing minded. So I'm they're already on the YouTube platform. Right. Why are we, So I get that. Yeah.
And they're also, because it's you really want to be intentional with what links you put in that description, because, you want to place high priority on the main one that you want people to go to. The more links you add, the more opportunity you're giving people to try to make a decision themselves on where they want to go. And sometimes that leads to them not going anywhere from the description box, right? So you just want to be mindful of that.
Okay. I have so many questions that I'm just having to slow myself down. Okay. How important I think this might go in a couple directions, but titles and then cover images.
Yeah.
Which I feel is going to lead us into talking about SEO on YouTube versus other platforms. So let's get into it.
So when you say cover images, I just want to double check. You mean thumbnails, right? YouTube thumbnails?
Yeah.
Okay. It's semantics. I know it's the same thing. But okay. So thumbnails and titles are very important. And if you're just starting out on putting your content on YouTube, even if you've already had a channel that hasn't really been doing much for you, and then you're just starting to post your episodes and stuff there, this is going to be one of the main skills that you want to hone and like be in competition with yourself. So I'll explain a little bit more about what that means. So your thumbnail and your title are basically the reason why people click on the video. So your title and your thumbnail are what's called the video packaging for that video. You can have the best content in the video, but people will not find it and will not even like know it exists if you don't have the right thumbnail and title. So it is very important. And you can see this like in the analytics in the dashboard. I don't know if you've had a chance to like, I geek over the numbers. So like in the analytics,
I do podcasting and email list stuff, so I get it.
Yeah. So, cause I always look in the back end, I'm like, is this video even getting any reach, right? Like the metric for reach is impressions. When you're looking back there, it's looking at how many impressions did your video or your channel get? Because that tells you whether or not YouTube is pushing it out and showing it to people. And if you're seeing that your video is getting a lot of impressions, like, you know, let's just say over 1,500 impressions, like in the thousands or what have you, but it has like 10 views, then that's telling you you need to focus on your title and thumbnail, on improving your title and thumbnail, because the metric for that to like kind of gauge whether or not you're, you know, how you're doing is the click-through rate. I know we're getting a little bit technical here, but this is literally,
I love it.
I'm glad. This is how you know how you're doing, right? Because it can be like so exhausting and like disappointing when you're just like throwing stuff out and you have no way of knowing whether it's doing well or not. And if it's not doing well, that's not a bad thing. That's data. That's like, oh, here's what I need to do to improve it so that we can move the needle to have it do better, right? So I always tell people to know whether your thumbnail and title, you're doing well with those, go look at your click-through rate, because that will tell you, like, if let's say it's like you see some videos with a 1% click-through rate and other videos with like 3% click-through rate, go pay attention to the 3% and like see if you can duplicate that and see if it works for other videos. I will say there's a lot of nuance to this. So like if there's, you know, the video isn't getting very much reach, there's like 10 impressions with a 20% click-through rate, that's not really good to gauge, right? Because you want something that is being out there in front of a lot of people so you can get an average that can then, you can take that data and be like, okay, this thumbnail is doing, you know, pretty good. Let's see if we can use a similar style on other ones. So yeah, we went deep into that, but
my audience also loves that. Like my episodes where I talk about metrics, they love it. So
amazing. Good. Yeah. So, so that's how you can kind of gauge, in terms of like the thumbnail. I will say, like, if you're talking about the two, thumbnail is more important than the title. Because again, if you think about like browsing behavior on YouTube, when someone's typing into the search, all those videos pop up. Typically people will look at the thumbnail first and then the title. And then even like when you're watching other videos, let's say on YouTube, and you know, those thumbnails that pop up at the end of the video for other suggested videos or even on the side, again, you're more likely to see the thumbnail, right? So you really want a way to capture attention, not in a clickbaity way, because that will hurt. That will hurt your channel. If YouTube sees that people, like a lot of people are clicking on it, but then they leave right away, that's not good for your channel. Because the name of the game with YouTube, they always want to serve the right videos to the right person, so that they can keep people on the platform for longer. So you want to have that thumbnail speak to, you want the person, like the viewer that you're targeting, to really identify themselves in that thumbnail. So whether it's visually, whether it's something you say in the text, maybe it's promising like overcoming a particular pain point that they have. I mean, that's an entirely thumbnail design is an entirely different masterclass, but like, yeah, those are sort of the high level main points there that I would say.
Well, you're such a wealth of knowledge. And that's so funny because I was like, do I ask her like what's trending right now with thumbnails? And it's like, it's just so hard to say depending on the
Yeah.
industry. And okay, so what about how does SEO work into the platform?
Yeah. So SEO it's changed a lot with AI coming into play, as I'm sure you imagined. But like, it's not dead. It's just
No.
evolved, right? So if there's different algorithms to YouTube. Okay, there's the search algorithm. There's the browse algorithm. There's suggested algorithm. There's a YouTube Shorts algorithm. All of these are different algorithms that your video has the potential to be found, right? So with our channel, we like to focus mainly on search, and that's where SEO comes into play because those videos typically can be found like for years and years later down the road. Like we still get comments on videos from like 2016. Like it's wild, and that's so cool. Like when you think about other platforms,
Well,
like right, like Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, like those posts fade right away, right? And so with our videos, we like to create like evergreen content, meaning it's stuff that can continue to be valuable like years down the road. And then when we're optimizing it for search, we use a tool called TubeBuddy. I don't know if you've heard of TubeBuddy.
yes, I love. Mhm.
Okay, cool. So there's vidIQ, there's other platforms there too. It does many things. It's a channel management tool, or an extension that embeds itself into your YouTube channel. And like I said, does many things, but we mainly use it for the keyword tool. And with the keyword tool, you could do research in terms of what keyword phrases can my channel rank for. And that's the
Mm.
piece that I really like about it, because it's not like from a general sense of like, oh, lots of people are searching for this, and and the videos that are already ranking on this don't really have a strong optimization, so it's an opportunity to rank. But it's like literally telling you, based on your YouTube channel, your activity, what you are creating content around, all this kind of stuff, it'll give you a score. So we do initially keyword research. So like with the example that I was talking to you about, like podcast platforms for experts, right? So I would like go and research a bunch of or phrases that I think my person would be typing into the search
Mhm.
to find a good score. And based on that, I would optimize the entire video around that. So that would be that phrase would go in the title, that phrase would go in the description. It would also ideally be spoken and said in the video as well, because
Mhm.
AI can read all of that, right? Like everything is metadata to support the fact that like this video is about this thing. So bring it up or rank it higher when someone types that in. And there's a lot of nuance to that. Like
Yeah.
YouTube will rank it higher if it knows that it's been popping up in the algorithm for that phrase and people are clicking on it and they're watching for a long time. Because again, that signals to YouTube that this video like aligns with what this person's searching for. So let's show it to other viewers with similar viewing behavior, and it'll just like kind of boost your video a bit more. So again, it really comes down to like give people what they came there for, like create good content around that particular thing that you're optimizing the video around.
Okay, this gets me so excited because a lot of the work that I do with like my clients and if the people who have listened to the podcast know, I am all about talking to your ideal customer, hearing the words they're saying and they're using and
Yes.
typing in. So if anyone has done that for the podcast, you can use that for your YouTube channel, which is
Yes.
exciting.
100%. And you always want to be mindful of the language that they're using, because the language that you might be using to describe your thing is like totally different. Like no one knows it exists, right? Like if you have like a framework called the client engine, but it's like, it's what does that mean, right?
Yeah.
Let's optimize that around how to get high ticket clients, and like something like that. Like you got to translate it for them, at least in the video packaging side of things. In the video, you can go in depth into your stuff, but like you want to, like I mentioned, like translate it not just the thumbnail and the title, but also in the first few, like what you say in the beginning, and then you can go into like your frameworks and stuff, and that's where the juiciness comes out. If they really resonate with that, they're going to stick around.
I love that. We were just having this conversation because in my mastermind, I have a few doctors and we were talking about the medical term versus what they're really wanting to, so I love that. All my podcasters can just take that strategy and use it with your YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, this is so good. You mentioned shorts. Now, I have been seeing that shorts have been doing really great for podcasters. So what's going on with that? What is it worth it? Like, what's the strategy for us behind that?
Yeah, so shorts is a very, like, I will say, divisive topic in the YouTube world, because many people have a certain opinion of shorts in terms of long form videos. However, this is my take on it, so I'll just share my take on it. We use YouTube Shorts, like when I say we, like our YouTube channel as well as our clients' channels that we manage. We use YouTube Shorts mostly as, again, those little hooks, those little feelers out in the water, the lines in the water, to bring people back to the long form. So we don't depend on them like as solo standing pieces, because I know some people will create shorts like specifically for YouTube Shorts. They'll film like unique YouTube short videos, right? Because like that algorithm is quite fast paced. It has the potential for you to get a lot of views on the short clips, just because, like, if you again think about the nature of how people browse shorts, it's super quick, fast paced, right? Like people don't even look at the description or anything. It's kind of hard to even click to find the description of a YouTube short, you know what I mean? So for that reason, like, and also based on like the years of working on YouTube, we haven't really seen getting leads from YouTube Shorts as a thing. It's mostly been from long form videos. That's why, like I said, we will use the YouTube Shorts, connect them. There's a way to connect it to the longer form video. And when I say like, so what you create for YouTube Shorts, what you can do as podcasters is extract these like little moments from the podcast episodes. Maybe it's like a really good quote, like a quotable moment, a really like engaging story or a great value piece or what have you. And when you're uploading that short, there's a way to link it into the longer episode. So that's why we release the longer episode first, and then release the shorts afterwards so that we can link them.
Okay, very cool. And so in those shorts, the description is hard to like, even get into, but what's worth putting in the description then and focusing on? Are we doing a CTA? You can't link in them, right? So
yeah, they're not clickable. So you can, again, we keep it super minimal. Like we'll just sometimes even just copy and paste the long form thing, like just not even have a unique description in there. But again, we haven't really, like, because we track clicks and everything, we haven't really seen. So we've started not even putting anything in the description, to be honest, because we just want people to watch the video and click on the option to go watch the long form, because they can see like what channel it's from, if that's your concern of like brand awareness, like they can see like who the channel creator is. And again, because it's super fast paced, it's mostly like for top funnel brand awareness.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. So what about A/B testing for thumbnails?
Yeah. So we do this a lot because, I said earlier, you got to be in competition with yourself, right? Like, do not look over at that person here, or even the channels in your home feed where you're like, how the hell are they getting like thousands of views and my video is getting like 10 views, right? None of that. Because when you do that, you'll just quit. I know you will, because it's going to be really disheartening, because it's already work to put your episodes up on the channel, right? So always be in competition with yourself. So what do I mean by that? You, again, want to look at what is your average click-through rate, because again, that's the metric for thumbnails, how you know whether you're doing, whether, like, basically where you are on the scale to, and how you can improve. So when you're doing A/B thumbnail tests, and you can actually test up to 3 on the back end, 3 thumbnails, there's an option now where you can also test titles, by the way. But you don't want to be testing titles and thumbnails at the same time, right? I just want to say that, because I've seen that. I'm like, no, we don't know. We can't tell, right? So just do a thumbnail test, and basically it will run for 2 weeks and we'll present the data to you. A lot of the tests are coming back as not conclusive on our end, but there are some where they're clear winners. And so I'll address because if you're listening to this and you're kind of experiencing the same thing, there could be a number of reasons why that's coming back inconclusive. Like, for example, the video isn't getting enough impressions, so there's not enough reach for YouTube to say this is a clear winner or not, because it needs a lot of reach. Another thing too is your thumbnails have to be very distinct and very different. So when you're doing A/B thumbnail tests, like, don't just like switch out one word, or like add punctuation to it, or like change the color of one element. Like, try testing it in completely different thumbnail design to see if that will help in terms of the testing. And I really do encourage you to do, like, I know it's work. You got to create another thumbnail. But if you have the resources to do it, definitely do it. Because again, this is the way that you can get data faster to know what move you need to make next. And that will positively impact your progress. Because otherwise you'll just continue shooting in the dark. And that's not fun.
Oh, that's so interesting about just thinking how different they have to be, because it is very easy to just tweak a word here or something like that. So that's such a good point. What about scheduling? Like, is it better to schedule? I've heard 24 hours in advance only, or can you schedule further ahead? Do you get like a penalty for that?
Oh, no, yeah, not at all. I'm like curious to know who's saying that, because that scares me. Someone's like, yeah, definitely. There's no penalty to scheduling out in advance. We schedule sometimes a month out in advance for our own channel, for our clients. It does not negatively impact. The impact is when the video comes out, and how is your video doing once it comes out. That's what will determine what YouTube does with it. So yeah, absolutely. Schedule stuff in advance. And that's really how you're able to stay on top of things. Because if you're scrambling last minute to get a video up, that's stressful, man. I don't want to be doing that. Life happens all the time. Our business is busy, right? Like, we have so many things going on. And it's the last thing on our minds to want to like have to get a video up. So really think about this in advance. Like, what's the strategy for your channel? What are the content pillars? What can you create around those videos that will align with your goal, attract the right person, give them the call to action, and do it in batching. Like, batch film your videos, it's like batch planning first, batch filming. Then I don't know if you're editing them or passing them along to someone, give them the whole batch for editing, and then batch scheduling at the end. So yeah, that's how you stay on top of it.
You're speaking my language and you're clearing everything up. Look at this. This is so
Yay.
good. Okay. Now when I heard you speak at Selena's event,
Yeah.
you talked about creating almost like videos to like introduce your channel or something. So let's say a podcaster is like, I want to take this a little bit more serious. I want to pour into it a little bit more. What are just a few things that they can do to make their channel stand out or be enhanced a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. So your channel homepage is basically like a landing page for people. It's an opportunity to immediately communicate what you want to be known for and how you help and who you help your person. So use that real estate. And so what is involved in that? Your YouTube banner, your channel name, your about section. There's the links there as well, and also you can optimize your home channel layout to have either a channel trailer or some sort of a video. You could pick a channel trailer for new subscribers, and you can also pick a video for people who are already subscribed. So filling that piece out, and then you can also put your playlists. And so I'll kind of talk briefly about like each one of those things. So with your banner, what is like a really short way, like some people know this as your USP, right? Like your unique selling proposition. What is a really clear statement that calls out to who you want to attract, what problem you solve, and what the channel is about as well. It's got to align with all of those things. So you got to put that statement on the banner. And what we also like to do is if you have any sort of like authority signals, like maybe you've been featured on like Forbes or like other places, or maybe you have certain certifications, or maybe you host events and you have like a large community, there's photos of that, anything that speaks to your credibility, your work, incorporate that on the banner. And the other thing too is your call to action. So if you are going all in, your main call to action is a particular lead magnet that you offer, put that on the banner. If it's you just want to grow your subscriber base on the channel, put that as a call to action. So really use that real estate. And then like your channel name, your about section needs to be consistent in terms of that same positioning, same language of what you stand for. Maybe a little bit about your work as well in the about section. Some of those keywords as well that attracts your particular person. And then again, in the link section, your main call to action, your lead magnet in this example, put that as the first link, because that link is going to show up as the first link in the, like when you're going on someone's homepage, even on mobile, there's one link that shows up. You want to make sure that's at the top, because again, it aligns with the banner, right? You're telling them about the lead magnet, and the lead magnet link should be right there. So that's some quick things on the top of the channel. And then I'm just going to comment on the playlist piece. You want to be intentional about the playlists that you create on your channel for a couple of reasons. One is like playlists can be found in the search. So optimize the titles of those playlists around keyword, like search term keyword phrases. And there's also a way to like add descriptions for your playlists as well. Again, that's more metadata that supports search. So when you think about like, okay, if you're teaching podcasting for experts, right? So if you're thinking about the main pillars of the work that you do, I'm just going to make this up. Podcasting for beginners can be one particular playlist. Another one can be like podcasting tutorials, like the how-to of podcasting. And then like maybe another one on the business of podcasting, or using your podcast for a client to attract clients, right? Like what are those main topics or themes that you like to talk about over and over again? Create playlists around those topics and feature them on your homepage, so that but like immediately when someone lands on your homepage, they can see what you're about. Like they're like, ooh, yeah, I want to dive into some of those topics. You're speaking to me, you're speaking my language, right? And so they're more likely to engage with your content and stick around.
Okay, this is so great. I had like dogs barking in the background, so I had to mute myself for a second. So I'm like, am
Oh,
I
it's all good.
unmuted? This is so great. And my mind, like as you're walking me through the exercise, I'm like in my mind, I'm saying the things that I would say. So I hope my listeners are doing the same. All right, Auret, what are some trends or updates that are coming to YouTube that you're really excited about this year?
Yeah. So they have been like playing with like some e-commerce features. So they released
Mhm.
it's like this education piece. Like if you're an educator or you create educational content, you can embed some of those products into your channel.
Oh,
And similar to like how you might have seen YouTubers selling merch, like on the like I don't know if you've seen like the merch shelf, right? Like
yeah,
t-shirts and stuff. You will now be able to feature some of your digital products and
it's
like
cool.
courses and that kind of thing. So that will be really interesting. And yeah, to see how that plays out. Again, we're going to start to see like AI even more so embedding itself into everything, right? Something that's already exists that I'm pretty excited about is like in the back end YouTube studio, there's the AI called Ask Studio. And the reason it's like you chatting with the AI, but the thing is, it already has all of the data from
Mhm.
your channel.
Oh,
So you can ask it questions like, based on the videos that I've released in the last 90 days and their performance, what types of videos should I create next? Right? Because it's going to factor that in and it's going to be like, oh, well, I see, this video did really well for whatever reason, you know, and then it'll pop out some suggestions for other topics. So yeah, we started using that more because again it's informed on your data in the channel, right? So that's huge. And honestly, like we kind of stay away from like trends, like what's going on like trends wise, because we play the long game of YouTube. And so like, yeah, it's great to kind of hop on a trend or something and get a lot of views. But again, because I'm using it for business mainly, I'm using YouTube for business. I don't care about being a viral influencer. I care about, being known for my knowledge, for my area of expertise, as well as if it's a good fit, attracting the right person to go check out my offers. So that's what I care about. And because of that, doing some of like hopping on these broader trends and stuff like that isn't necessarily going to attract the right person. It attracts more of a broader audience, which is why, like, we've been doing YouTube for since 2015. Like,
oh my
and
gosh.
so we've been on the platform for a long time. And
Yes.
like, if we did a niche channel and like did like trends and stuff like that and everything, like, we know we would have way more subscribers and way more views on the channel. But like, I'm totally fine with where we're at because it's optimized for revenue and it's been really great to us on the revenue side of things. And that's what we love to share with people, because I know there's so much content out there on like get views fast and grow your channel fast. And I feel like sometimes that can be misleading because, yeah, we all want views, but for what purpose? Like, if
Right.
it's to sell something, is it the right view? The right view matters, not necessarily a view. So I think having like, we just love educating people, like just on the nuances of YouTube, because there's so many.
I love that point. I think it's such a great point to make. And then it kind of comes full circle for us. What we talked about at the beginning is like setting a goal for your channel. What is the objective that you want? So I loved this conversation. Thank you so much. I feel like there were so many clips from this that I'm like, oh, that could be a YouTube
A YouTube
piece
short, a YouTube video. Yes.
short and too long. It's so good. I
Yeah.
know this is something my audience is going to just absolutely love. So Ari, how can people learn more about you, work with you, all the things?
Yeah. So you could head over to essetinomedia.com. That's our website. You could find out more about how to work with us or what we offer. And then also, if you just want to DM me, you have a question, LinkedIn is the best way. I'm so not good on Instagram. I try to be, but I'm not. I'm trying to be better with LinkedIn too. Again, you don't have to be good on all the platforms, right?
No.
Just go all in on one. But if you do want to send me a message, I'm happy to answer there. And I'd love to gift, Kylie, I'd love to gift your people as well the YouTube Authority checklist. Basically, it's a PDF that walks you through how to set up your YouTube channel as an authority piece, like as an authority asset, and also if you're a business owner to attract the right lead or person into your community. And it goes through like the 10 non-negotiable things that you need to do. So I'll shoot over that link to you. I'm happy to provide that.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Is that the one that you did with Selena's crew?
I think so. I think that's the one.
So good.
Oh, you
so
saw
good.
it? Okay, yay!
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, you guys are going to love this. Okay, we will link that up for sure in the show notes, on my website, all the things on YouTube. Thank you for being here, Auret. I hope that this, really serves my people. I know it's going to. And I just love what you do. And I think you guys are such a great just brand and authority in the YouTube space. So thanks for what you do.
Oh, I appreciate you, Kylie. Thanks so much for having me. And thanks for listening, everyone. And hope to chat with you soon. Bye for now.